Shalom, Akim. Just want to make a quick video, little information that I have for you brothers. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because, I know I've heard this many times from these devils out there, Edomites, these devils, these crackers, these honkies, so-called white men, that, when you go back in history, you never see any great black civilizations, and you never really see anything great that the black men ever did, because of the fact that basically, they're subscribing to the notion that what these so-called white people have painted, or the picture that our so-called, the so-called white man has painted of our people, you know. So that's why you never really hear about great achievements that the so-called Negroes, which are the tribe of Judah, or Benjamin or Levi, have ever done, because Esau, the so-called white man, has kept that thing suppressed. So I understand now why they say that, because I found this some information here uh, in this book, which is an ebook called Black People and Their Place in World History. So basically, if you go online, you should be able to find this book online. And when I read this paragraph here, if I could find it again, um, it prompted me to remember, because when you deal with these devils, on the comment boards, they'll always say that black people have never, you know, and when I say black people, I'm talking about all the Israelites, but mainly beginning with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you know, because they say that because of the fact that history has been distorted. So if history is distorted and you don't get the truth or the facts of what happened in the past, how can you make an assessment of what actually took place? How can you think on these things if you don't have any facts before you? So the Spirit has given us the ability to go and find this information. So I wanted to share this with you brothers out there, because I'm sick of hearing that Jake never uh, produced anything, or never gave anything in history except for barbarism. And you see these Jakes out here in the ghetto, the way they act, all the tribes. And in a way you can see why they act that way. But in another reason, on another note, that they're acting that way because of the curses that's written in the book of Deuteronomy 28. you know and this whole thing about Jake never did anything is solely based on white supremacists, some supremacy. So we're gonna go into this real quick, hit a couple of scriptures, and hopefully this will clear up that bullshit that these devils are here saying about Jake. It says, who created civilization? It says, President Thomas Jefferson said, never yet could I find that a black had uttered a thought above the level of plain narration. Never saw an elementary tract of painting or sculpture. Congressman Thomas Hardwick of Georgia in 1904. And these are quotes of these so-called white people. Like some of these jakes out here, that Uncle Toms, they subscribe to Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln and these President Kennedy and all these men as being great men, and they was really about black people and really was down for black people. You have no freaking idea what was taking place back then, and you have no idea what's taking place right now. It says Congressman Thomas Hardwick, another Edomite of Georgia, in 1904 demanded and received the disenfranchisement of black people from the gains made after the Civil War. He said black people never founded a government nor made a single step towards civilization that did not soon lapse in barbarism, except under the fostering care and guidance of white people. And the reason why they say this is because they're the ones that suppressed the information. Matter of fact, before I keep reading, I have to bring this out real quick. This is the book of Job 13:4. It says, but you are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. Like it says in the book of Isaiah, the 25th chapter, that they pretty much got a veil over all people. Now, who's the ones that's in control today? Esau, the so-called white man. So, of course, whatever history is out there is whatever history they put out there. Like even the Edomite writer Voltaire even said that history is a lie commonly agreed upon. All right. So it says, but you are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. So they are the forgers of lies. They're the ones that brought about all these lies. They're the reason why true history is not taught today. But through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he has given us the spirit and men before us to go out here and bring out the truth. And it's coming out. It goes on to say, historian Arnold Toynbee wrote in in his 1934 history book, it will be seen that when we classify mankind by color, the only primary race that has not made a creative contribution to any civilization is the black race. You know, so they keep saying these things. Why? Because it's a damn lie. And then when they had Jake in slavery, Jake was not allowed to read. They were not allowed to write. They were not allowed to do anything. So when they looked at Jake, Jake was dumbified. They had no idea what was going on. Why? Because that was the curses. And again, I'll read it. I read it out of the curses. Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And that's the reason why that happened. You know, because it's the curses that were put upon us. And on top of that, on top of the curses that were put upon us, these Edomites have taught, have first and foremost, did not allow Jake to read. They didn't allow him to write, and they distorted the history that would prove that Jake had great civilizations back then. You know, there's no other greater civilization than the civilization of the nation of Israel, which was ruled and governed by great kings, and they were black men. You know, you had great so-called Latino kings that ruled, great so-called, you know, Gadite prophets and different, you know, men out there that ruled this world in righteousness and peace, but they not given the credit for it, because when the so-called white man ruled and is ruling, pretty much all they did was push that down so that they can push up their white supremacy like they do any other thing. Right? I'm going to continue on. Former President Richard Nixon was quoted in the Haldeman Diary as stating, the black race is the only race which never founded a civilization. And that's all a bunch of damn lies. Scientist and Professor R.B. Carrell concludes, savages, including the whole Negro race, should, on account of their low mentality and unpleasant nature, be painlessly exterminated. And this is the reason why when you go on the different YouTube sites, you have these Edomites that when you type in certain things, they'll if you brothers out there that dealt with them, you know, they'll say, well, the black man has never contributed any great thing to a civilization. You know, they always been savages. They're this and that. Anytime you have black people ruling something, they always crumbles and falls apart. They say that because they're trying to push that white supremacy out there, and they suppress information, you know, and that's why I'm doing this lesson, because to be honest with you, I'm sick of hearing this shit, you know, and I know it's not true, but I'm sick of hearing it, you know, and somebody has to, you know, speak out about it, you know. So the Lord put the spirit on me to find this information, to put it out, and I'm sure that once this information goes out, it's going to prompt other brothers to find other information and continue on and bring more information out, you know. But the thing about it, it's not a black thing, it's an Israelite thing, you know. But Judah happens to be the head tribe. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the head kingdom. It says, were white scholars and presidents never taught the correct version of history, or has there been a conspiracy for the past 200 years to deny black civilization? That's exactly what it's been. It's been a conspiracy, you know. And even the person that wrote this book really doesn't understand that it hasn't been for the last 2,000 years, because they didn't rule for the last 2,000 years. They only ruled after the Roman Empire. They were cut off for 1,000 years. That's why throughout the so-called Dark Ages and the Holy Roman Empire, you had all types of icons and relics and frescoes and paintings of our forefathers, you know, as dark-skinned men. And matter of fact, this right here, if you can see here, I don't know if you can see it too good. It says above, in the absence of any surviving superscriptions of British High King. So this is a British High King. Now you can see the curly hair, you can see the wide nose, but they broke it off. And then when you go through these different icons, you can clearly see that you have black icons, the Black Madonna child. This is a picture of Yahweh Shai and the 12 black men. You can see the afros, you know. And this is the prophet Daniel, you know, clearly a black man. You know, you have King David, you know, a light brown skinned man. You know, you have the prophet Elijah going up into the whirlwind. You know, you can see that the angels are dark, you know. You have, these are the Israelites in Egypt, you know, you can see the afros, you know, some of them like Simeonites, you know, and on and on and on. These are the Hellenistic Jakes, you know, Jake during the Hellenistic Empire. You can see the afros and the wide noses, you know. So Jake has contributed to many great. This is Job, you know. This is a picture, an icon of Job, a black man, and Jake has contributed much. This is King Solomon. Jake has contributed much. This is Moses. Jake has contributed much to history, but the thing about it is that it has been suppressed for so long, you know. But now the Lord is using us to bring out the information and quell and stop all the lies. This is Psalms 58 and 1. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you indeed judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's why you have what you have today. See, the thing about it, Jake, out there, they don't know because they're blinded, you know. But we know because the Lord opened up our minds and we understand the scriptures, you know. So those Jakes out there, once they wake up, they find out and they get mad. Some of them go off the handle, you know, and some of them just, you know, just fall in line and just, you know, understand the scriptures and wait. That's what we're doing. We're waiting to get these devils, because it'll be a pleasure. It'll be a pleasure to smash these devils soon, especially them so-called Jews, them Amalekites, man. That's the biggest scum on the planet Earth, you know. And it'll be a pleasure to crush their goddamn skulls, you know. But you know what? We have to wait. We have to be patient. We understand why we're going through what we're going through, you know. But at the same time, the Lord is exposing these devils, as it says in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, that the Lord will reveal them with the spirit of his mouth and then for consume them with the fire, you know. So it says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charming never so wisely. So that's why they keep pushing this information out, this garbage that they got out there. Why? Because they don't know any history. Esau, the scriptures tell you that Esau is a base man. He ain't no real man. He ain't no great man. He's a base man. He's the basis of all men. The way he looks, you know, explains that to you. You could just see it just by the way he looks. So that, you know, it goes on to say, where white scholars and presidents before Greece, Rome, or Europe were ever established. Let me scroll down a little bit. It says, before Greece, Rome, or Europe were ever established, there were multiple black civilizations throughout the world, which were already thousands of years old. And even after that, you know, even after that, you know. So this guy, he goes into the, you know, to the history and shows you, you know, about different things and different empires that ruled, you know, which some of them were Hamites, some of them were, you know, East Indians or whatever the case may be. But, you know, Jake in itself, which we're dealing with, had the greatest empire back then, the kingdom of Israel. Now, King Solomon was said to be what? The greatest or the wisest king of all the kings of the East, you know. So he was the greatest king ever to live on the planet Earth. That's why Yahushua used him as an example. You know, King Solomon and all his fine clothing, so I mean, I'm paraphrasing, and the great wisdom that he had are greater than he is here, which Yahushua was basically saying that he is King Solomon. But when he came at that time, he came as a son of the Most High. You know, so these devils, man, you know, they keep saying that, and I like I said, I'm you know, the spirit was on me to make this lesson, because honestly, man, I'm tired of hearing the bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that fucking lie, you know, and that shit makes me angry. This is Joel 12 and 6. The tabernacle of robbers prospers, and they that provoke the Most High are secure, and to his hand the Most High bringeth abundantly. And that's why these devils keep it going, because they're prospering. So they feel that the Most High is with them, like it says in Psalms 50th chapter, because nothing really bad has happened to them. They really feel that the Most High is with them, because what they did to us, and the Lord ain't do nothing to them. It says, or speak, it says, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall teach thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this? So the Most High is the one that did this. He's allowing these devils to continue on. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Till Esau be fully taken out of the way. It says, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat? With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up man, and there can be no opening. And that's why we're in the low condition that we're in, because the Most High brought us down, but now he's going to bring us up. We can't do it of ourselves. That's why it says in Deuteronomy 28 that no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you. We can't save ourselves. That's why we need Yahweh Shai to come back. It says, behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So the deceived and the deceiver are his. So Esau that's deceiving and Jake that's being deceived, they're all in the Most High's hands. So just a short little lesson I want to go into. It's something that's been on my mind for a long time. I ran into this little info here, and I wanted to share it with you brothers. And hopefully, you brothers will learn something from it. And I'm sure, the Spirit hit any of you brothers out there. I know you're going to bring out more information and more facts, that's going to smash this white supremacist thought out there, because it doesn't sit well with me, So I just wanted to share that with you brothers. So with that, I say shalom.